Prior to his academic career, Jim Leoto Sr. was awarded 65 patents from 4 different manufacturing companies that he founded. He was the founding investor in 4 startups. I met Jim probably 20 years ago when he was just moving away from running operating companies, and before he launched his second career as a clinical professor at the University of Illinois at Chicago. He was researching methods and processes for implementing change in emotional intelligence.
I was 52, I'm 77 now, so that was 25 years ago, and I decided to start a different career. And I gravitated toward positive psychology, which is where they took 100 years of psychology, and Marty Seligman in his genius said, we ought to create in '92 a new program called positive psychology. And instead of finding out what people can't do and work on it, let's find out what they can do and push that up. I started looking at all these different things that they had proven in laboratories and tests on how people can behave better and do better things. And when I looked at some of these things, all of a sudden I started thinking of ISO, the same processes that I use to design products and test products. I said, I can take these processes and break them down into individual steps. And I can teach people these steps. And if they learn these steps, and if they're the right steps, okay, and it becomes a habit, then that's how you improve their performance. 25 years ago, our 3-generation family that was all for one and one for all was the talk of the city. We had no money, but people just knew this family. And it split right down the middle. They transferred family for money. And that was one of the reasons I want to understand. How can that happen? How can these things happen? 7 years ago, I went to the family, and I had an idea. I said, what if we took what makes companies great and transfer them to a family? So I said, what if I take this family and I teach them through my processes the same communication behavior? 3 days of education, I knew I had to educate them. And 7 days of celebration, I knew how I could get them connected and bonded to each other with the family and the children. These are the statistics. We increased the overall social and emotional competence of all the adults an average of 26%. We increased their transparency. They're willing to be open with others, 46%. We nearly doubled the frequency of their relationships between meetings. They become best friends in 7 years.
So my dad asked what is most important to me. There's a lot of things about heritage. But he said, what's the most important to you? And I was really interested in where we came from and where we're going. As I was growing up, my family was just uber close. And we never really thought about it. We've gone through a lot of conflict in this family. It was